So it was like the plastic, landfill sort of level thing. And you'd hit the buttons, and the buttons would all make different musical tones, the same way a piano would. And that was terrible, but anyway. And so I used to write my first songs on this little baby telephone. I didn't realize I was writing melodies, but I was. And I guess my parents kind of saw that and went, maybe we should get her a keyboard. So I went from a little musical telephone to a keyboard about that big, which suited me fine because 5-year-old fingers, right? Anyway, I played that thing. I played it and played it and played it. And Mum and Dad went, maybe we should get her a bigger keyboard. So I went from that to about that. And that's where I really started to just cart it around with me everywhere. Every time we'd go up to see my grandparents in the country, I'd take the keyboard with me. And it turns out my grandmother on my dad's side was actually a pianist. So she used to play on ships in New Zealand growing up. And my mum's grandmother was also a piano player. Didn't know that when I was a kid, but just gravitated towards it. So anyway, obsessed with this keyboard, did piano lessons, did all the things, and then Mum and Dad went, damn it, we're gonna have to buy her a piano, aren't we? And they did. And that day that the piano rolled off the truck, I was in grade 7, I remember it vividly. I raced home. Usually I'd walk with my friends, even though I had the bike, we'd take about an hour, and it was probably a 15-minute walk. So I used to, very much just drag my heels. But this day I reckon I made it home in about 6 minutes. I just pedaled to the metal. And when I saw that thing wheel off the back of the truck, I felt so just inspired. But looking back, it's one of my favorite memories in my life because that really was the start of doing it properly, And my parents are just hardworking people. My dad was a fireman for 35 years, just retired. My mum worked in pharmacy for 40 years. It was her first job when she started and went through and changed tact and became a florist later in life. Also, just retired. And but they worked really hard, and if we needed more things, they worked harder. And I know that a piano would have been a stretch back then. I know that more and more as I've gotten older. But it was the single most transformative thing they could have ever done for me. And I wrote all my first songs on there, and I even wrote songs that I release now on that piano. Every time I go home, it's there, it's the same, it's home. And this is when I actually started on that piano and then took to some friends in LA. This was on my first record. It's called Richie. Richie sits with a vacant stare, pulling labels off his beard. It's 12 o'clock in the afternoon, but his fire's already here. 6 minutes in, he throws it out, what he just can't keep within. And all the rocks, love, and life back home to a girl in love with him. As we stumbled out amongst the crowd, these hands of mine unsure. Can love exist in dives like this somewhere in New York? 'Cause I'm not one for dancing, but I would waltz with you. And I'm not one for falling, but I am tripping, tripping on you, tripping on you. Richie tells me Dylan used to walk these cobble streets. He recites a couple lines, but he hardly looks at me. It ain't me, babe, he sang
tripping, tripping on you, tripping on you. Richie leaves like a wave. He's done this before. I stand and watch him walk away toward the subway down on the 4th. Now and then I think of reaching out, but I don't know what I'd say. Between the words we left unheard, I can hear the music play. I'm not one for dancing, but I would waltz with you. And I'm not one for falling, but I am tripping, tripping on you, tripping.